Alright guys, on this episode of What the Heck Did Clayton Buy, we're going to reveal his recent purchase. Let's roll out. Alright guys, on this episode of What the Heck Did Clayton Buy, we're going to reveal his recent purchase. This is a storage container and we're going to have Clayton tell you about it. Alright Clayton, why the heck did you buy this? What is it? What's it going to be used for?
Oh, so, gotta love Facebook Marketplace at midnight. I'm always looking for these shipping containers and I found this, it was like 3 hours from where, I live, and I saw it and I was like, there's no way. So this container came exactly the way it is. It's not perfect on the outside. You'll see some dents and stuff, but I just want people to keep in mind, these are very hard to come by right now, the container crisis that's happening. And as it stands, this came with a door framed.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it used to be owned by a St. Louis glass company. I haven't taken all their stickers off yet.
Nice.
And somebody celebrated Halloween or something. It came with the AC unit framed in there. It came with another window. It came with electric run to it. It actually has an RV plug that comes through this breaker box. There's a breaker box on the outside. There's also an AC, and I didn't even realize until after I bought it, it actually has a heat mode.
Wow. Okay, so this thing originally would have been a just plain Jane storage container.
Regular storage container like you've seen before. And the funny thing is, it actually came with all this plywood. There's plywood behind here, and there's foam board behind that. So there's probably $3,000 just worth of plywood.
Yeah.
And I bought it for $3,500.
Great. So you bought it for $3,500. What have you done to it so far?
We slapped drywall on it. I'm not a drywaller, so don't judge me.
We're not going to look too close.
Don't even look at the drywall. We started to texture it, but the problem is the walls aren't perfect, so it bends a little bit. So I had a buddy come by, and he's going to actually kind of finish it out, because the original plan was actually to go all out and shiplap this thing. I shiplapped the bathroom last year. Super easy stuff to use. I think I spent $500. For this, it's going to be almost $500 a wall because wood prices have just shot up. So I was like, you know what? I can come back and do that later if I want. But we might do like some kind of accent on the ceiling and the back walls. So
once you get this thing finished, what's the plan? I mean, are you just going to like set it somewhere and rent it out? Are you going to keep it?
So this is actually my personal one. Actually, I split this with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, my wife and I. I found it and I was like, okay, crazy idea, guys. We have a campsite out by a lake, and I just said, there's plenty of room out there. And we talked to my father-in-law, and he loved the idea because they use campers out there all the time. But those campers, I mean, you've got, they get exposed to the elements, they get exposed to animals, and these things are just way more Loctite. So we're actually going to, finish the walls. We're going to do baseboard. We have vinyl plank flooring. We have stacks of that. We're going to finish the ceiling out, and then, we'll get a little fancy with the trim and everything. We plan to do bunk beds in the back with a bed underneath, and then, maybe a pull-out couch over here. So really what this is going to be, some people like to call these tiny homes, but really this is more like a tiny camper for us.
It's kind of like a bunkhouse, right?
Yeah, and it would be actually a really decent size. We're actually going to put a porch on top of it too.
No way.
Yeah, because we actually, it'll be right by our hunting ground.
Okay.
So it'll be a perfect place to just, pop a lawn chair up and sit in some camo and, hunt for whatever it is that time of year.
I came over here when Clayton was working on some of this drywall, and again, like he said, the drywall's uneven. It's not an ideal surface to finish, but Clayton had a method, which actually I think you saw me do one time, right, Clayton?
Yeah, I've done it in the past and it worked fine on nice flat walls.
So let's flip this around, and we're gonna have Clayton explain how he put the drywall mud on.
Well, I used this roller here that I left in here after I was done. It's now hard as a rock.
So what do? You mix up some mud in a bucket.
Yep, with a little bit of water, and you just start rolling it on. When it's a new roller, it actually goes on really well. But if you try to reuse them and it's a nice fluffy one, it's a little crusty.
Yeah, so it's kind of a knockdown. This wall is probably...
That's probably the best one.
Yeah, it probably looks... So it's meant to be kind of a rougher surface. So if you're not going to be finishing it professionally, I mean, like, it's not like a house. This is a good way to cover it, like cover your seams up.
Quickly and lazy.
Yeah, quick and lazy. So definitely not something you do in an actual unit, but hey, it works for this. All right, so when this thing's done, how will you actually move it?
Kind of like the trailer I have for my dumpsters. I have another trailer, flatbed, 24 foot. This container is actually 20 foot. I will kind of back underneath of it like a knife, and then it tilts, and then I hook a winch up to it just to kind of hold it. But to be honest, I just start backing it up, and that this thing.
So
shoots
it sits
up.
on a flat. It sits on a flatbed like that.
Shoots on a flatbed, and then it sits on a flatbed, and it has like 3-inch rails on each side. So you don't have a lot of room. You want to pull it on straight, but then after that, the bed lowers back down, and I pull out. It looks like a baby semi, honestly.
Let's give Clayton the phone. Show us what's up on the roof.
Oh. All right. Up on the roof, it's actually in really good shape for a container. It might not look like it. There's a little bit of surface rust over here and everything, but this is very easy to take care of. Coat of paint after we sand it and everything, and then actually once we put the deck on here, it'll be all protected. And this will make for a nice porch or deer stand. It'll be amazing. I'm super excited to get this thing out to camp. That one's tough.
Got her all locked up. Let's get out of here.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we're out of here, but this is gonna be a cool build out once it's done. We'll have to maybe film a video of you dropping it off at the lake and setting it up. So make sure you guys subscribe if you're not. Follow along on his channel because he's gonna do a lot more like in-depth videos. I just hang out with him once in a while. So there it is. Clayton, we'll see you later.
Peace.